fantastic day to you. Welcome to G9IJA TV News Headlines this morning. How was the night? Hope you slept well, and we hope that you had a wonderful week that is about to end again. And this morning, I'm your host, Dr. Champion, and we have some very interesting stories we are bringing to your text this morning. It has to do with a lot of nation-building stories. NLC against the federal government, the recent news hitting Nollywood again. All right, but before then, this week we had the police campaign against cultism and other vices, spearheaded by the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, CP Adegoke Fayade, MNI. Of course, it was a wonderful one where we had lots of security agents coming around together. We had officers from the FRC, Federal Road Safety Corps. We had from the NSCDC. We had from the NDLEA and other bodies coming around to say it's time to say no to drugs. And of course, spearheaded by the National Association of Online Security News Publishers, NAOSP, who decided that this week will be dedicated towards speaking against drug abuse, speaking against domestic violence, and speaking against cultism. Talking about drug abuse, it's well known to all of us that drug abuse is one of the menaces of the society that has affected the lives of young people most especially. We understand that when you take drugs beyond or against your doctor's prescription, it's a form of abuse, it's drug abuse. When you take hard drugs, when you take cocaine, marijuana, colos, or whatever the names are, into your system, Indian hemp, it's drug abuse. When you also make sure that you pass across the same hard drugs to younger people or to your friends, to your peers, so that they can do what you're doing, is another form of drug abuse. So this week we are joining our voices to tell a lot of people, especially our young ones, please stay away from drugs. Hard drugs can kill you. Hard drugs can make your life miserable. The problem with taking these substances is that over time you can become addicted. And when you become addicted, trying to stop becomes very, very difficult to stop. So please say no to drug abuse. And away from there, we'll move over to cultism. Cultism. Recently, we were told, I think sometime in April 2024, that Dr. Ayo Ogunso, who is the board member for the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, was recently appointed as chairman of POCACOV. POCACOV is an acronym that means Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Vices. Recently, in a press conference, addressed the country at large and said that it's high time for young people to stay away from cultism. Cultism in the tertiary institutions, cultism in the secondary institutions, and like some people say, probably even in the primary school sector. Wherever cultism can be found, we want to say no to it. We want to say no to bullying. We want to say no to oppression. We want to say no to any other factor that is militating against academic progress and educational development in our country, Nigeria. And that's one of the reasons why POCACOV was initiated. By the Nigerian Police Force, through this new initiative, want to say to all students to please stay away from cartels, stay away from cults, stay away from joining any evil group that the society frowns at. Whatever encourages you or whoever encourages you to do what is wrong, to do something illegal, to commit a crime, come out in the dark, kill someone, make someone uncomfortable, go and steal, or to maim someone, or to assassinate someone, is not acceptable in the society. One way or the other is a form of cultism. So this week, we're also joining our voices to the Nigerian Police Force, and of course to other security agents to say that our young people should please stay away from cultism. And the last but not the least is domestic violence. They also said that we need to create more awareness on the need to, if not end totally, reduce the impact of domestic violence. Men, stop beating your wives. Boyfriends, stop beating your girlfriends. People that are into any relationship that are not very, very palatable. Please, it's time to end it. The problem with domestic violence is that most times it leads to traumatic experiences whereby sometimes even the victims may not live to tell the story. We recall that wonderful gospel singer, G9IJA, that died many years back due to being a victim of domestic violence. Of course, we know this role she played in that popular hit gospel track, Ekweme. Today, the gospel industry, gospel music industry lost a great giant due to domestic violence. Whatever disagreements you have with your partner, whatever disagreement you have with your loved one, whatever disagreement you have with someone you are in a relationship with, resulting to physical violence is not the best option. Hitting yourselves, using sharp objects on yourself, breaking things, properties, using sharp objects on yourself is not allowed in the society. It's totally unacceptable in the society. And so this week, we are supporting the National Association of Online Security News Publishers, NAOSP, the Nigerian Police Force, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Federal Road Safety Corporation, and of course, National Security and Civil Defense Corps. We are joining all these, and of course, with the Lagos State Management Agency, to say that it's time to keep our country safe, stay away from crime, stay away from whatever is not helping you as an individual to live a life of a good citizen, be a better Nigerian. And with all said and done, we'll quickly move to a very interesting headline that is trending currently. And of course, we have that story being picked up by the Punch newspaper. Federal government bans money ritual, smoking scenes in Nollywood films. ICYMI. Federal government bans money ritual, smoking scenes in Nollywood films. These have generated lots of reactions, both positive and negative. But let's have the news in detail. According to the Punch newspaper, the federal government has approved the prohibition of money rituals and the glamorizing of vices in Nigerian films. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the executive director and the CEO of the National Film and Video Censors Board, Shaibu Hussaini, disclosed this as a national stakeholders engagement on smoke-free Nollywood held in Enugu State on Wednesday. The event was organized by the NCVCB and Corporate Accountability and Public Participation in Africa. Movie producers, directors, and actors drawn from different parts of the country, as well as leaders of various guilds and associations in the Nigerian film industry, were present at the event. Hussaini said that today we are facing an industry emergency requiring bold and ambitious action from all parents, guardians, and stakeholders. When my predecessor approached the former Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, on the need to make a subsidiary legislation to curtail the display of smoking in Nigerian movies, he saw the need to include money rituals. Others included in regulation are ritual killings and glamorizing other crimes to further sensitize and sanitize the film industry. Today, I'm delighted to announce to you that the Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, pursuant to Section 65 of NFVCB Act 2004, has approved the regulation. The Minister has approved the prohibition of money ritual killing, tobacco products, nicotine product promotion, and glamorization display in movies, musical videos, and skit regulations 2024. We have also forwarded the approved copy to the Federal Ministry of Justice for Gazette. He said. Hussaini said the sensitization program was to educate stakeholders on the danger inherent in the consumption of smoking in Nigerian movies. According to him, besides the health implications, glamorizing smoking in films poses a negative influence on teens and young adults, who constitute the largest segment of Nigerian movie viewers. He said that the board was set to undertake detailed enlightenment programs in secondary schools, tertiary institutions, local communities, faith groups, and other institutions. As you all know, the film industry occupies a central position in the entertainment and creative sector, and we must continue to place the highest premium on the progress of the film industry. The NFVCB supports smoke-free movies and smoke-free Nollywood, and will therefore seek your collaboration to develop creative content that discourages smoking and promotes positive health messages. After a series of engagements, the NFVCB, in collaboration with CAPPA, decided to do a subsidiary regulations to cater for smoking in movies, since this aspect was not expressly spelled out in the extant law. The NFVCB is well prepared to take leadership in this regard and has planned and begun implementing innovative ways to achieve its mandate, he said. The NAA reports that the board must register all film and video outlets across the country and keep a register of such registered outlets, among other functions. Details of that can be seen in the Punch newspaper. Please grab yourself a copy. And away from the Punch newspaper, we move to the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper also talks about the protest by Labour, which is against the submission of the new proposed 57,000 naira as minimum wage by the federal government. Okay, and beyond that, we also have something very interesting from the Nation newspaper. And this is even coming as a breaking news. Kanu Assembly dethrones 5 emirs. This is just 18 minutes ago, breaking news. Kanu dethrones 5 emirs. Now the news in detail. The Kanu Assembly on Thursday, which is today, dissolved all the 5 emirate councils in the state, declaring Governor Abba Yusuf as the sole constitutional powers to appoint new emirs. The Kano Assembly on Thursday today dissolved all the 5 emirate councils in the state, declaring Governor Abba Yusuf has the sole constitutional powers to appoint new emirs. The Assembly took the decision at the floor of the House during plenary on Thursday. During the sitting, the Kano State Emirate Council Amendment Bill was considered after scaling the second and third reading on Thursday. Details of that can be seen in the Nation newspaper. Please grab yourself a copy. And away from there, we move over to another interesting headline from the Sahara Reporters. Sahara Reporters talks about Mr. President. President Tinubu to leave Nigeria on Thursday for Chad President Mahamat Debi's inauguration. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu will on Thursday, 23rd May, depart Abuja for N'Djamena, the Republic of Chad, to attend the inauguration of President Mahamat Debi. The inauguration, which is scheduled to be held today, Thursday, will be attended by Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A statement issued by Chief Ajuri Ngilali, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, on Wednesday said President Tinubu will be accompanied on the trip by senior government officials and will return to the country after the ceremony. And away from there, we move over to the Guardian newspapers. The Guardian newspapers with this headline: Federal government says negotiation is for minimum wage, not living wage. Offers 57,000 naira. Labour says nothing below 77,000 naira slashes proposed living wage to 497,000 naira. Anambra NLC resolved issues at Soludo Session Committee on minimum wage. Despite the ultimatum landed down by the organized labor to the federal government on the 31st of May 2024 deadline to implement a new minimum wage, both parties to the negotiation at the resumed tripartite committee on national minimum wage meeting yesterday shifted grounds, but were still far apart from reaching a middle ground. While the government, state and federal and organized private sector OPS offered a 90% increase in the national minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 57,000 naira. Labour reduces demand from 615,000 naira to 497,000 naira. The meeting was still ongoing last night. The federal government, led by the chairman of the committee, Buka Aji, and the OPS insisted that negotiations for a new national minimum wage and not a living wage as demanded by Labour. Though the meeting was still ongoing at the time of filing this report, a source, who is also a member of the committee but also wants his name in print, said Labour, comprising the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria and the Nigerian Labour Congress shifted ground as requested by the federal government, but it was still a far cry from government expectations. Details of that can be seen in the Guardian newspaper. Please grab yourself a copy. And away from the Guardian newspaper, we move over to the People's Gazette's Nigeria. The People Gazette's. Nigerian students in UK expelled, forced to leave country amid currency crisis. That's a sad one there. Now the news in detail. Some Nigerian students in the UK have been expelled from their courses and ordered to leave the country due to a currency crisis that has left them unable to pay tuition. Students from Teesside's University were prevented from attending classes, with numerous citing the devaluation of the naira as the reason for their depleted savings, rendering them unable to afford their fees. Speaking to the BBC, some students described the toll on their mental health, with some experiencing suicidal thoughts and depression due to university's strict handling of payments defaulters. Nigeria, grappling with an inflation rate of nearly 34%, is undergoing its worst economic crisis, impacting various sectors, including Nigerian students abroad. Teesside University requires students to show proof of funds to cover their studies and living expenses. However, with the naira depreciating by 100% against the dollar in a year, these funds have significantly diminished. Additionally, the university shifts from 7 installmental payments to 3 has exacerbated financial strain on students. Adenike Ibrahim, a student nearing the end of her 2-year study, missed one payment and was subsequently expelled and reported to the Home Office. I did default on payments, but I already paid 90% of my tuition fees and attended all my classes, she said. Although she paid the outstanding fees, she had not been re-enrolled and was ordered to leave the country with her young son. The Home Office informed the 14 students their permission to stay in the UK was revoked because they were no longer enrolled in their studies. A letter from Home Office indicated a departure date and said that students had no right of appeal of administrative review against the decision. Another student, Esther Obikwe, said, I attended all my classes and seminars. I'm an active student. It is disheartening. I'm now on antidepressants and have nobody to talk to here. A university spokesman said, Teesside University is proud to be a global institution with a diverse student population, but must comply with visa regulations. These extended regulations are beyond the university's control. Universities are aware of the financial challenges faced by some students and has offered bespoke payment plans where requested. However, some students have defaulted on these revised plans, while some students have managed to pay their outstanding fees. The university is no longer able to intervene in the Home Office process. The Home Office clarified that the authority to offer or withdraw visa sponsorship rests with the sponsoring institution. Details of that can be seen in the Gazette newspaper. Please grab yourself a copy. And away from there, we move over to Al Jazeera. European League final. Nigerians Lookman, the hero as Atalanta stunned Leverkusen. Now the news in detail. Ademola Lookman scored a stunning hat-trick as Atalanta beat Bayer Leverkusen 3-0 in the Europa League final to win just the second major trophy in their 117-year history and end the German champions' remarkable unbeaten streak. Lookman will struggle to establish himself in the English Premier League with Everton, Fulham and Leicester City before reviving his career in Italy under Atalanta coach Gianpiero Gasperini. Struck twice inside the first 26 minutes before sealing the win 15 minutes from full time on Wednesday night. The victory ended Gasperini's own 2-decade-long pursuit of major silverware as the side totally outplayed Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen, or Leverkusen as they have been dubbed, after going on an incredible 51 games unbeaten. And with that said, we want to bring to an end newspaper headlines for you today. And please don't forget our appeal from the beginning of this show. We said stay away from drugs, stay away from cultism, stay away from violence and other advices. These 3 major vices could end your life, could jeopardize your future, could destroy your ambition and make you a problem to the society. And so please join us with other Nigerians, with the Nigerian police force and other security forces to say no to hard drugs, say no to cultism, and say no to any form of violence. Please, we'll be right back, same time, same station tomorrow. Keep winning, stay happy. and stay excited. Dr. Champion is my name. Signing out.